the people.
Bet.
Cool. We are live. What's up, y'all? We are back. Talk Money Tuesday. Levi, if you don't mind, you can give a word to the sponsors. I'm gonna fly the kite on my end, and then we'll introduce our guest for the week.
Bet. So you're gonna do the introduction, and I'm just doing the sponsors right now.
Yeah. Do the sponsor, cool. And then I'll do the intro.
Cool. Yo! What's poppin'? It's Talk Money Tuesday, baby. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Paper Loaf, the best, and I mean the best credit repair company out there. You got 500s, they can take you to 6s. You got 6s, they can take you to 7s. You got 7s, they'll take you to 8s. You need that Amex, they can get you all the colors, the gold, the rose gold, the platinum, whatever you want. The black, you got black credit. Go ahead and get that black card. You know what I'm saying? So make sure, if you're not already following paper.loaf, then that's what you need to do on Instagram. That's at paper.loaf for the IG. And if you want to go to the link, it's paperloaf.com. And to our other sponsor, the Money Streams team, PMSM Group, PMSM.group, the investment community to be a part of if you're interested in real estate, the stock market, cryptocurrency. You want to invest in minerals. You want to flip houses. You want to own property outside of in other countries. Whatever you want to do, anything that you want to do to make sure that your money is making more money and that you can control the 24 hours within your day and make sure that you are in a sense of success within your own path and passion. You need to make sure that you're a part of the Money Streams team. So make sure you go to www.moneystreamsgroup.com. And if you're not following pmsm.group on Instagram, then that's what you need to do. I don't know what I just said, but I said it.
I think you got it out. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. This is episode 8. This is actually the last episode of the year. And I'm excited about this episode, and I'm even more excited about our guest. She helps professional women become pretty on paper, and I actually met her because of Turo. I actually, had the pleasure of renting her car via Turo, and that is Miss Aneesa. Welcome to the platform. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
We got a lot of questions for you, and I know the audience is going to be asking you a lot of stuff as well. But before we even get into anything about anything, you recently helped you recently bought your husband a whole dealership.
Yeah.
I seen you post that. That's amazing. How long have you been planning on making that play?
So my husband's from another country. So he's been in the country for about 5 years, and I immediately just got to work on making sure that he was in position. He was an entrepreneur in Ethiopia, and so just making that transition from business owner in Africa to here is just a completely different system. So, of course, me being an entrepreneur, leaving the medical field, he had to go to work to kind of, stabilize everything. But we had made a goal that he wouldn't have to do that for a long time. So I started to just hammer out, in the business world, with the credit space, all of that, business credit, coaching. I started a CNA school, and one of the things that he wanted to do was, have his own dealership. So I started working on that. It's been a while, but I secretly started working on the whole process and didn't tell him about it, locked down some funding, and then that's what you guys see now. But there's so much that goes into it, but it's been a couple of years of just in the making.
How hard was it for you to hide the process from him?
It's hard because, one of the things, I had to get him to sign some paperwork, and my husband trusts me so much. He didn't even know what he was signing.
Oh, that's good.
So I had to get him to sign something, but it was pretty difficult. So you have to take like an exam and you have to do all this. So I did all that process. And so it's difficult, especially if you guys do everything together. So, but I wanted to be able to, just to, hold it. Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to, hold up my end, which as far as, him becoming free from working for someone. So
that's amazing. I really resonated with that story. So I mean, I want to obviously have you on the other podcast. We tap into that a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
But I was, I felt really grateful meeting you, obviously through that platform, and you bestowed a couple of gems on me early. Obviously,
I did.
yeah. Obviously, fast forward, I got the Toro now. I mean, I got the Tesla now. That's on Toro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But on today's episode, I wanted to bring you on because I feel like you have a wealth of knowledge that people need to tap into. I know Levi has a lot of questions, and I know credit both on the personal side and also on the business side. I feel like is an amazing tool for people to leverage to grow their personal lives and obviously the professional lives. And not everyone kind of taps into it. They may tap into it on the personal side, but then they may stop there,
Yeah.
But then having the ability to really set yourself up on the other side and leverage and touch more funding so you can actually do more things, I think would be a great way to have a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about it. So when you asked me to come on, I was like, let's go. Let's talk about it.
All right, cool. Levi, you got any opening questions before I kind of dig a little deep here? What you got?
Yeah. So my first question is actually because we had put it out there, of course, before we hopped on here. When you say make you look pretty on paper, can you give us a little more of a definition of what that is?
So I guess the way that I look at credit is it may be a little bit different from others or something, but when I first got into the credit space, everyone talked about credit score, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, but I had started building relationships with these underwriters and people at the banks and, bouncing off ideas. I'm really big on building relationships, by the way. That is the biggest leverage you can have. But I started talking to them about what actually they're looking for. And it had really nothing to do with credit score. It really was about the profile. And so I had started structuring my clients' goals. Like I would ask them what their goals were, and then I would start structuring their credit based on what they wanted. And what I realized I was doing was I was making people look good on paper. I was like, I make you look amazing on paper. Like, so that's where the concept came from, being pretty on paper. We're always, as women, always working on this outside and trying to be attractive on the outside, but are you a financial liability? Like we need to get you to be pretty on paper. We need to have your ducks in a row. So the whole concept of pretty on paper was really to structure people's profile for them to be able to be approved by the banks or be able to get what it is that they actually want. So that's where the concept came from.
I love that. That's super dope because I definitely agree. With pretty much not even pretty much everything you said. I definitely see how it definitely what you look like, what you can prove and who and that's a big thing when it comes to credit for sure.
Yes.
So I love that. That is super dope.
Yeah.
So I got a quick one. For people that don't really understand, that don't have an idea, what's really the difference between the score and the profile?
I wouldn't say that there is a difference. So the name of my company is Bloom Credit & Co., right? The reason why I say Bloom is because Bloom, it when you do one thing, it naturally does something on the other. So if you water your garden, you water your plants, it will naturally grow. That's the same thing with credit. So if you pay attention to your profile, you knock down those 5 factors and you really understand what the 5 factors of credit are and you execute in that manner, your score will naturally reflect your profile. So it's not that it's a difference, but it is like the window into what's going on with your credit. Now, for example, some people they won't have anything on their credit and they'll go and buy a car and their credit score will shoot up to a 700. Well, it's only shooting up because they have an installment that's reporting, an on-time payment. They're hitting some of the factors, but it doesn't necessarily mean they really have a strong 700 credit score. So you have something that we call a thin profile and kind of like a thick profile, or but what they would call thick. They mainly say thin profile, meaning you don't have enough to really show that you're credible on paper. So it's not that it's different. They kind of feed off of each other, but it doesn't always reflect what's really going on. Your credit score doesn't always reflect what's really going on with your credit.
All right, so we got a question from one of the audience.
Mhm.
What are the first steps to set up business credit as a new business?
Okay, because I always gotta let people know this. I want to make sure that I'm answering the question correctly, because there are people that are on the internet that are teaching business credit when they're really talking about business funding, or people teaching business funding and they're really talking about something else. So if you're referring to getting access to capital, that's called business funding. That means you go to the bank, they give you revolving credit, which typically means you just getting a credit card, right? Business credit is when you sign up with vendors like Quill, Granger, and you go through the tiers. So if you're going that route, I typically don't really teach that. It's not that it's not beneficial, but people teach that as a way of being able to get access to credit without having good credit. I'm a credit consultant. I'm going to teach you to get your credit together first and then leverage that to be able to get capital. So we're talking about getting revolving credit. You want to make sure that you have a strong credit profile. Preferably, like, your score would be about a 680, and you want to have about 6 accounts that are reporting on time, no late payments in the last 2 years, no lates, on time payments, and you want to have at least no more than 3 inquiries that are reporting to your credit at that time, and your utilization low. So you want it to be under 30%. You really want it to be more than that, but 30% is like the start.
Like,
so if your profile looks like that, you're in position to go ahead and apply for revolving credit cards, which is just business credit cards under your business.
All right, so we got a couple more questions in here. What's the best account to start off with when you just open your business account?
I would always say to start with the bank you have a relationship with. That's always the best account to start with. So if you've opened, say if you have a B of A, I have a really great relationship with Bank of America. If you have a personal account with them and you've opened up a business account with them, I would say start with the bank that you have a relationship with. You have to look at credit that way. Credit is about relationships. So you want to build relationships with a bank that you've already, been doing business with. So that's a good place to start. Yeah, that's a good place to start.
That's super interesting. I've always told, well, and especially me too, I've always stayed away from B of A myself. I know a lot of people that have had really bad experiences with B of A, including myself. So I've always moved people away from B of A. And I used to be like a B of A ride or die. I'm talking about since like 15. 15 years old, and I was paying that monthly fee, all that stuff, and all that craziness. So I was definitely like I'm like a con B of A person. So I'm curious to know because I know you said you had a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
What causes that good relationship?
This is what I would say. I think the best thing that we should do, 2 things: become extremely well informed about the systems that we're going into, right? Know how they work, know what they want, know what you want out of it. The other thing is to build relationships. I have an amazing relationship with my business consultant at B of A. So when there's anything new coming up, anything, he personally will call me and say, hey, this is what we got going on. So it's about relationships, really. And so, for example, Bank of America, they're really good at their products that they're really good at. And you have to look at each bank at what are their products? What are they good at? And just focus on that, right?
Yeah, because it's not universal. It's definitely not universal.
Yeah. So just like you said, the fees and things like that. Well, Bank of America, if you deposit over like $2,500 a month, you don't have fees, right? So say, for example, you're not really using that account, but you have $2,500 in another account. Take that and put it there to avoid the fees. So find out their system. Find out what it is that they're looking for. I know on the personal side, if you have direct deposit, it will waive the fee for them charging you monthly for the account. So there's different things that they have in place where you can avoid fees if you know about them. But one of the things that I did is I refinanced the Tesla into the business account. So it went from personal to business. So I had some cars that were in the business name, but then that Tesla, I guess I can't remember why that was still in the personal for some reason. I think we did it with Navy Federal first and whatever. It was something that, oh, that's what it was. Tesla had a waiting list or something to get the car. So we just got financed personally, and then we knew that we were going to refinance it into the business account. Bank of America is amazing at refinancing your current personal cars into your business. So with my clients, when they already have a car that they've been driving around, they've been using for business, one of the things that I will do is direct them there to refinance that car and put it under their business, which will ultimately lower their debt to income on their personal side. So just knowing the systems of each bank, I would say. I wouldn't say one bank is the answer to everything, but definitely knowing how it works.
So we got another question from for the audience. How long before applying for business credit? I've only been in business for 1 month legally, but it's been my side hustle for 25 years.
You can apply for credit right away if your credit is in place. You can leverage if your personal credit is in place and it has all those factors that I talked about. 680, I would say 700. I say 680 to, you can get approved with 680. 700 credit score, 6 strong accounts, on-time payments, no lates, low inquiries, low utilization. You can get business credit right away for a new business. And that's what I help people do. Like I'll have clients that are just starting in business and we'll lock down funding for them their very first month. So you can do that. And you could do that with Bank of America. So
look, boy, she advocating for them things.
I'm just saying you can.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So what is what are some of the things that people can actually do with their business credit that they may not know? Like, if someone's like, I got the personal, I feel like I'm good. I don't really see how, like, if I add this business credit, how, it can improve my situation. What are some things that someone acquiring business credit could look forward to leveraging?
Well, I mean, the one thing that I always try to get people to understand about business credit is whatever you get on your personal side, you can get that ×3 on your business side. But the very first, I would say, benefit is that your activity on your business credit is not reporting to your personal. You get 0% interest for 12 months on a lot of the credit cards for business credit. So it allows you to pay no interest for a long time that you wouldn't. Those incentives are not really given to the personal consumers. So, yeah, I would say that would be the beginning of it. If there was someone that were in business and they were utilizing their personal credit, I would definitely encourage them not to do that because you will quickly, affect your credit score by running up your utilization. So it's best that if you have a business to separate it from your personal, expenses. And it's okay to have a credit card on the business side that maybe has a high utilization because they're not measuring it the same. It's not the same measurement. So I would say if you're in business, you definitely want to make sure that you have your personal expenses and your business expenses separate. You definitely want to do that. And it helps with taxes as well. So
I think that's a gem right there. So if you're a business owner and you've been really leveraging that personal credit, like Aneesa said, you could tap into that business credit, and that utilization is not going to affect your personal profile.
Yeah.
I think that's major. You know, right there. Levi, you look like you was about to tap in with some.
Always, you know what I'm about to be like. So can you tell those that are on here right now, and of course those that are listening later, how important it is to you personally to have your DUNS number? A lot of people, like especially clients in the past, they didn't know what a DUNS number was, or they didn't even know that you can get your DUNS number for free. So they were paying people to get their DUNS number, and like I was like, don't do that. A lot of people pay to get their EIN as well, which is crazy because you can get both of those things for free. So can you tell people how important it is to get a DUNS number, and even you know how easy it is to get one, because a lot of people don't, and what it is, because a lot of people don't know what a DUNS number is.
So 2 things: do not pay for an EIN or a DUNS number. That is something that you can do now if you have someone that's structuring your business, and that should be included in the whole structure of your LLC or something like that. But no, those things are free. The DUNS number is basically a number that you get that represents your business. It's a reporting factor for your business. And let me just do another B of A plug. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna throw up.
It's a good startup. I'm telling you, it's a good startup business account. But if you set up your business account with B of A, they will automatically jumpstart your DUNS number for you. So if you start it with them, they report DUNS reports to B of A, but they will actually jumpstart. And this is why I know. I set up a person's account, and we went to try to set up their DUNS, and it was already set up. We were like, well, how is it reporting? How was that? How did that happen? Well, they set up their account with B of A, and it was already, set up. So your DUNS number is extremely important because it tells a lot about your industry. It is a place where you can find like your ratings. And if you're going into the whole business credit, which is, setting up vendor accounts and all of that, those are places where they will report for your business credit. So it's extremely important.
We got a couple more questions that just popped on. Let me see. I just have one right here. Okay. Besides Bank of America, what other bank would you recommend?
Is that what's funny?
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
So Navy Federal has a really good, but I would say first start a relationship with them on the personal side first. Another company that has, so let me just say this: we're in California. I do business outside of California as well. We don't have a lot of banks that we can do business credit with. But typically there's another bank. If you guys are in Atlanta, there's Citizens, there's Key Bank. Those are not in Los Angeles though. So I don't know where people are asking from.
Yeah, drop your city if you're in it.
So if you're in Atlanta, you have Key Bank, you have Citizens, I wish we had BNP, they have PNC, they have all these other banks. We don't have them in California. So if you do business outside of there are typically who you bank with, they will have a business banking account. So if you have an account, I would say start with the bank you have a relationship with. And if not, like I said, you have Key Bank, PNC, Navy Federal. There's tons of banks to do business accounts with.
All right, another question we got is so good personal credit is needed to establish business credit.
Yes, it is needed to establish business funding. We use business credit and business funding, interchangeably, but business credit, like I said, has to do with building up the tiers and the vendor accounts. Business funding, in order to get credit cards under your business name, yes, you will be the personal guarantor, or they say PG, on your account. So you need to make sure that your personal credit is in place first. Yes.
Okay, and then right here. I think there was one more that I just missed on. How long does it take to actually get business credit? So if you're going through the process and you start, like if I started with you right now, and we're going from day one, how long would it take? Let's say I got the six, six accounts, profile's good. I'm like 680, 700. How long would it take me to get me right or get me looking pretty on paper?
I mean, if your credit is already together, that means you are pretty on paper. So we would just need to make sure that your LLC is set up, and then we would set up your business account and then apply for credit. It's not that difficult.
Well, guys, look, if you're set up, if you pretty much got your personal situation set up, you just 1 or 2 steps away from
you a few steps. I mean, there's some things that I would advise people to do. They don't always follow the instruction, but for example, you want to make sure that you have a office address, that you have a phone number, you have a business email, right? So not, Aneesa Getaneh at gmail.com. You want to have whatever your business name is. If it's ABC, it'll be Aneesa at abc.com. So you want to have some things in place that solidifies you as a business. You don't want to just go in just willy-nilly. You definitely want to have some things in place: of office address, email, your DUNS number, your EIN, your operating agreement, which is very important. And if you get really good with a lot of those, you can actually just email them over to them and then meet them at the bank. Email all your docs over to your business consultant, and you guys can just apply. Yes, Levi.
So what if you're somebody that's like naked in the streets? You just butt naked with your shoes on. It's cold outside. You really not prepared for this, right? So
okay,
you got 2 credit cards, right? You got your LLC. You understand. You got your EIN and your DUNS number. But there's more that you need, like you said, like the 6 accounts, and like you have no business credit. You haven't even used your DUNS, and they come to you and they're like, "Hey, can you give me some clothes? Because I'm nipping out here." Like what? Are you able to, clothe that person? Or you're like, all right, we got you. Come on in. We're going to help you out. Like help you focus on, which accounts to get, and, those extra credit cards and stuff like that in regards to your budget, so on and so forth. Is that something you're able to do?
Yeah, there's always an answer to someone's problem, right? There's always a solution. The solution may not be on their timeline or how they want it. One of the things that I don't really hear a lot of consultants talk about that I typically do is I want to know what is their goal. Because it's very difficult for me to give you something. You may think you need this, but you actually need this. So I always start with what is their goal so that I can, guide them and help them get the result that they want. So people come to me all the time and say, I just want this. And I'm like, that's fine, but where are you trying to go with this? So that I can really give you what is necessary for the longevity. I don't really do quick fixes with any client. I don't do just little band-aids here. Let's do this, add that. Right. I really like to position people so that they have longevity in business, or that they're successful with their business credit and really learn how to use it. So there's always a solution to someone's problem, but it may, the timeline is always different depending on what's going on with that particular person and where they're trying to go. So say, for example, somebody comes in and say, I want a boutique, and another person says they want a box truck. Those are 2 different strategies, 2 different timelines, so it's different based on where they're going.
Okay.
Got a couple of questions and some quick responses. So we got DC in the house, Memphis is out here, LA's out here.
Hey.
Were there any banks in those areas that offhand for people to kind of research on their own?
DC, what was the other one?
Memphis.
Memphis. I've never been to Memphis. I do have. So what I will do for the people that are on here today, I can give you a list of banks. That'll be a gift to the people that are on and watching. I can give you a list of banks and where they are in certain areas, so that they'll be able to see what banks they can go to there where they can get business credit. So that'll be my gift to your audience today.
You guys already know, just text the number 213-410-4920. We'll make sure that you get those resources. Aneesa also is going to give away some things. We're going to talk about some things she's going to give away. Well, we do have a couple other questions. All right. So,
Okay.
Question one is, how do you feel about the net 10, net 20, net 30 accounts?
I don't have any feelings about business. You know what I mean? It's you use it for what it's for. So I have a nursing assistant school here. I use Net 30 accounts for ordering like my supplies and things like that. I don't lay or weigh too heavy on those because I have good credit. So I don't really have to like be really aggressive with, the vendor accounts and things like that. And I try not to teach people how to do things outside of building good credit. So I don't have a feeling about it. There are people that make tons of money teaching people about that. I really like to teach people about having good credit because it opens all doors. We need all doors open. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have any feeling, but I think that it is a great tool to utilize for your business. I like Quill because I give, they ship it right to my door. Who else do I use? I haven't used Granger that much. There's another one that I use, but I utilize them for what they're good for. There's another company called Shirtsy. You can order shirts and you can get promotional things done for you. So there's a lot of benefits in using them, but if you have good credit, you won't have to be so heavy on that side. So, but utilize them for sure for your business, for sure.
Yeah, I've always felt like they were a good way to start. Let's say you didn't know anything about, like maybe even connected to you. There's like those great supply net 30 accounts, like Uline. Uline is a great one. There's a
Uline,
lot of
there you go.
yeah, Uline's a great one to do net 30
A lot of
with.
packaging.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are good ones to start with if you don't have, pretty on paper to
You're not
put you in
pretty
the
on
right
paper.
place.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't put it on paper to put you in the right place. You might want to start
Right.
a new line and get your DUNS number connected and boom, boom, boom with it.
Right.
But then
Right.
come over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get your papers
Exactly.
pretty.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on getting a Tesla for business on business credit? I have a cleaning business and interested in Turo.
Getting a Tesla.
Yeah. So getting a Tesla for business on business credit.
Oh yeah, why not? I mean, yeah. So the way to do that, if you don't have the car already and you have a business account, you can go ahead and apply for a business auto loan. And they will typically if it's your first business auto loan, you'll get up to about 45,000. Once you build up your business credit and you've paid off that, or you're halfway, like a year after, you can get another auto loan that's higher than that. But if your first business auto loan, you can definitely go to Bank of America.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm just saying,
affiliate link down below, guys.
Right?
Affiliate link down below.
I don't work for them, okay?
Are you sure?
But yeah, you can definitely get an auto loan. You can apply the same way you would as an auto loan, a personal, but you would do it under your business. Definitely think it's a great asset to have, especially if you're looking for tax write-offs and things like that. So yeah, definitely get it. And then if you put it, well, let me see, with Turo, would be yeah, it's fine. You can put it on Turo with it being under your business. You're fine to rent it on Turo.
Are there any Black-owned banks we should do business with?
Before you answer that, hold on. Before you answer that, because
Okay.
I already know. I already know what you're about to say. But before you answer that, right?
Okay.
Because like you saw the face, she's like, "Oh, I already know that. I already know that answer." But before that,
okay,
in regards to taking that business auto loan potentially from Bank of America, right?
Yes.
Potentially from BofA. And then putting your vehicle on Turo. Do you have to have a certain type of insurance connected to your business in order to do that?
No. So your car is still your car, right? But it's I wish I could show you my title. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I show you my title if I'm giving too much info, but on your title for your business, it'll basically have your business name on there. Yeah, so you still it's still your car.
Okay.
So you would just get your regular insurance. You can, because think about it. If you work for someone, you're still driving to work. If
Right.
you own your own business, you're still driving to your office or whatever the case is. So you can get regular insurance for your business car. You don't need anything special. And then if you're covering it on Turo, Turo has its own insurance that you will subscribe to while it's being rented on Turo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Last question, then you can answer the question if you need to answer.
okay.
No, because I know B's over here, his wheels are turning because he's like, I make sure I can do whatever I need to do with my Tesla, and I'm over here plotting on buying 5 myself.
You tapped in, bro.
Look, I'm over here plotting on buying 5 myself, so I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Quick little Tesla fleet.
Hey,
right.
So in regards to getting that business auto loan, how long? I don't know. You may know this, you may not. How long do you have to have your business, and how long does your DUNS number have to be active? Because I know in a lot of different ways during doing some things, you can't do anything for a while until you have like 6 months or more or 2 years of active line of business credit or active DUNS number in order to even do things like that.
Well, it depends on the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you always want to ask the particular bank that you're applying for. You can ask them those questions and say, hey, I'm just newly in business. Can I apply for this particular product?
Mm-hmm.
You can call them products because that's what the banks are offering you. They're offering you products. So with certain banks, you can do it right away. The main thing is just making sure that your credit is in place. So you're applying for your auto loan, for example, under your business. If you have a business account with them, go ahead and apply for the auto loan. But just make sure that you talk to the business consultant. Really ask them questions so that, you're putting yourself in the right position in regards to, I'm sorry, in regards to what it is that you want. So you can do it right away. You can refinance like I said, if you have a car already that you want to move into your business, say you bought a car last year, you can refinance that car into your business and it pulls it off of your personal into your business credit.
How long does that take to someone to do? Like if you have your your car on the personal side, do you need to have it for a certain minimum amount of time before you switch it over to the or refinance it over to the business side? You can do that right away too.
Do it right away. The underwriting for some banks, I'll just tell you this. I know this for sure. Your mileage has to be under 75,000 and it can't be older than 5 years in order to refinance it. So if you are planning on doing the refi, make sure that you get a car that has low mileage and that is less than 5 years. You wouldn't have a problem refinancing that into your business.
All right, we got another question.
Okay.
Is there an alternate way of getting business funding, Levi?
She didn't answer the first question about the black banks.
What was?
There you go. You're right.
I was hoping we didn't get back to that.
I mean, look.
Oh my God.
We have to be honest. We have to be honest because look, everybody feels like, as black men and women that we're supposed to always speak positive and big up our other black businesses and stuff. But let's be, we got to be honest. Like if black banks need to step up their fucking game and fix their shit, then that's what they need to do.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's the facts.
I am a person that is very just I don't have a filter sometime on the things that I say, right?
Tell it like it is.
I will tell it like it is.
Let's get it.
Listen, but I'm not going to say what bank it is, but there was this huge, let's put our money into this one bank and this and this and that. And so I inquired. I said, okay, perfect. I'm going to put my money there. And so I started to, because I'm well versed in business credit and understand products and things like that. My question was, what products do you offer for, revolving credit, business credit? Because I will refer my clients. This bank offered secured credit cards only. And I said, why would you offer secured credit cards? Is that the only thing that you think your people would qualify for? Like, I have this whole thread where I'm going back and forth online with this bank on their Instagram page because I was so pissed. Like, no, this is not cool. Like, why would we put our money here? You have no products to offer. Like, so I don't know if I would be more than willing to support a Black bank, because that is who I'm about, my people. But we have to make sure that we are also up to par.
Facts.
And so why would I put my money into a bank that you have nothing to offer to me?
Because unfortunately, a lot of our community, they're not financially literate. You know what I'm saying? Like, the financial literacy it wasn't taught to us through those that are older than us. If anything, credit cards was something you should be scared of, right? That was what your grandma taught you, or whatever, depending on what your family was like. My name was different, but some people was like, oh, keep cash. Cash is king, and don't worry about credit cards. And so that you were scared to learn about financial literacy and have that in your pop. So a lot of people bank on that. Like, hey, they don't know nothing about this, so this is what we're just going to offer them. So I'm not saying that they're all like that, but I agree with you, because the same thing you went through is the same thing I went through. That's why I knew what you were going to say, because I knew that some of these banks, they don't offer everything that they should offer. And at first I was like, well, maybe they don't have the qualifications to offer that. But when you look at it, they got all the qualifications. They just not offering. I'm like, so how do you expect to become a contender with even the other local banks if you're not offering what everybody else is offering and trying to do it better?
And let me tell you this, I offered to offer financial literacy for the bank. I was like, let me teach. Do you have something in place so that we can teach people? They had nothing in place. So tell me, why am I coming here? If your CEO or CFO is driving a G-Wagon, but you can't teach people how to have it too. So so yeah, listen. So I love our Black banks, but we need to get it together.
Get your shit together, Black banks. Come together and get your shit together.
Love doesn't mean you don't hold people accountable. And I think that we always get that mixed up. Because I have something to say about it, it doesn't mean anything. I am holding you accountable. Why do I have to go over here to get what I need? You're asking me to come over here, but you have nothing to offer. It's like dating. Like, why would I? What do you have to offer me? If you don't have anything to offer, you can't ask someone to stay. You have to bring something to the table. So it's nothing wrong with me, feeling like I was, saying, hey, I'll offer financial literacy. They didn't want that. So
what have you done?
I mean, they got a plan in a specific target that they going after. Like, it's everything's designed, right? So
ignorance. That's what they're going after.
They know what they're looking for. So a couple of questions that popped in. So one that I was going to tap on was, is there an alternative way of getting business funding without having to use your personal credit as a guarantor?
Listen, there are people out there teaching things like that. I stay in my lane. Okay. There are people that are teaching things about trust and all these other things that there's ways, but I don't teach those ways. So I only teach and I talk about what I know and what I know to be legal. So there are ways. Even when people say like the vendor accounts, you're not using your personal credit. You're not using your personal credit for that. Or you're not using your social, but you can only go so far with staple credit cards and, certain things. You want to be able to have access to capital. So there are ways and people are out there teaching it, but I don't teach that way. So
what is best bookkeeping software for small businesses?
Oh, QuickBooks for sure. QuickBooks, definitely do that. One thing. Oh, let me just tell you this. Let me tell you one of the biggest mistakes that I made in entrepreneurship. I worked at the hospital. I was fired from the hospital, but then I went into starting a medical business, right? So I was thinking, oh, I have my year of taxes from my employer, and I have my year of taxes from my medical business. And I went to the bank and I was like, hey, I want to qualify for a home. And they're like, you need 2 years of your own business, or you need to have those 2 years of, you working. And so this is the one thing I want to tell people when it comes to entrepreneurship. Make sure one or two things. If you are creating a business that is already within the industry that you work in, W-2 yourself. Put yourself on payroll. Meaning, get ADP, or I use ADP for payroll. Put yourself on payroll and send yourself a check so that you have something showing, a continuous of something. So if you leaving your job, you'll have a continuance. I said that to say, because we talked about QuickBooks. Yep. Definitely use QuickBooks, but I want to tell you guys that one of the best things that you can do as a new entrepreneur, or even, you're midway or you made your first million, you want to have an LLC, but set yourself up as an S Corp. And I'll tell you this, because the IRS, what they'll do, they'll tax you as a straight LLC. They'll tax you. I'll just give you an example. Let's use
taxation.
Right. They'll tax you. I'll just use 100,000, right? Say your revenue was 100,000 for the year. They're going to tax you on that 100,000. But if you're an S Corp, which is an LLC that's electing to be taxed as an S Corp, and you payroll yourself, the IRS is going to tax you on your profit, which is your revenue minus your expenses. So you made 100,000, your expenses were 80,000, your profit was 20,000. The IRS is going to tax you on the 20. You want to set up as an S Corp, even if you're a small business. We're all thinking we're starting a business to scale and make money. So you want to structure it right from the beginning. Put yourself on payroll, set up the LLC, and elect to be an S Corp. And that will kind of help you, with the taxes and things like that. I'm sorry, you said QuickBooks and my mind just went.
No,
You're good. Can you tell people, because a lot of people don't know how to do this, can you tell people, for somebody that has an LLC, how they can put themselves on payroll? What are the steps? What do they do to put themselves on payroll in order for them to be able to file that on their taxes?
So I have an amazing, again, I'm about relationships. I have a great rep with ADP. I can give you guys that person. She is amazing. She literally did almost everything for me. You send over all your paperwork for your business. You set up, say, for example, if you're going to put yourself on a salary or hourly or whatever, they set it in place. You schedule when you're going to pay yourself out, and they will send you your check with your W-2. They do everything pretty much for you. It is worth putting yourself on payroll. I know it sounds big, right? Oh my God, I have all these fees. They'll work with you on the fees. Just put yourself on payroll. Make sure you have your paperwork together. So I use a company called ADP. I can send you guys the link to the person.
Yeah, send it over. I'll run it through the community.
Yeah, they are amazing. They actually came to my office. So they'll come to you. So yeah. It's really simple. It's really just setting up your account, giving them your business information, setting how much you're going to pay yourself, and then run your payroll. You schedule when you want to run your own payroll.
All right, guys, we got a couple other questions coming in. I want to give Aneesa opportunity to talk about the book that she's working on. And she also said that she would give 5 copies of it away and 2 free consultations. So you guys already know what we do over here at TMT. So if you're interested in that, drop your name in the comment section in the little chat box. I'm going to pull the wheel up. We're going to give away a bunch of stuff. So if you're interested in one of her books or that free consultation, let me see them names pop up in the chat. So tell us about the book that you got coming up.
So I have 11 strategies to becoming pretty on paper. This book is going to be it's going to change the game for credit. Because I'm teaching it in the form of makeup. So a lot of women resonate with. Yeah, so it's basically, there's a few steps that we have to applying makeup, and I'm correlating that with the principles of credit. So it's going to be a fun, engaging way for people to really understand credit. Most of my clients are women, and if they're men, it's because it's their husband or boyfriend or things like that.
Or because they rented a Toro.
Yeah, so they right. Or you may have a girlfriend that put on makeup, so you're gonna understand it either way. But I really wanted to make credit fun. Like I got tired of people just saying you got to know the 5 factors and you got to know this. I'm like, no, we need to make this real fun. But what's crazy is the idea came from I used to head to the bank, and I would go meet my business consultant, and I would be putting on my lipstick and I'm like, I'm getting pretty for the bank. Like I'm about to get pretty on paper, So I was like, wow, this is really what it's about. It's about us, making sure that we look good on paper. And I extended out that idea to the thought of makeup and how we apply it. So it's going to be a whole little movement that we're going to do with Pretty on Paper, but it's going to start with this book. This book is going, if you walk away from this book and you still don't understand credit, I don't know what to do for you. Like you got to really understand. You're going to really understand it once you get this book and read it. So yeah, that's what the book is about.
Dope. That is super dope. Look, I need to, you know what I'm saying? I'll learn, like, you know what I'm saying? Throw, you know what I'm saying? Look, throw a wig on real quick. Throw the lace
throw a
on.
little foundation.
You know get my book.
So we got about 8 names on here so far. So we're giving away seven things. So it looked like somebody about to win something.
Yeah.
So anyone that is interested in winning one of the books or a free consultation with Aneesa, give you another chance to drop your name in the chat. There's definitely more people that are watching, so I definitely want to give people the opportunity to tap in if you're interested in one of those. Levi, do you have any other questions before I start running the wheel? Oh, there are like 2 more questions that popped up too. So
yeah, I see. I didn't realize I could see the questions.
Go ahead, do the questions, because I'll mess around and ask like 3
when
questions.
you're using personal credit for business funding, how does that affect your personal credit? What changes, if any, would be expected to see on your personal credit?
You definitely gonna see. Oh yeah, they said the bank right there. I'm sorry, I just saw that.
That was the bank. That was the bank.
Yes.
We already knew what it was.
Yes. You're gonna definitely see a huge drop in your credit score because your utilization will go up. So if you're using your personal credit to pay your bills and do your personal things, and then you're also using it to scale your business or run ads and things like that, you're gonna max out your card. That's just the reality.
Like crazy.
So yeah, and it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. It's really best to just get. Let me just tell you guys this: American Express business, they will give you 4 times the points if you use your credit card for Facebook ads and like utilize the business stuff for what it's for. Right? You get rewards for using it for the proper way. So I would never advise you to use your personal credit for your business because there's so many rewards to use your business credit card for your business. But the first thing that will happen is your credit score is going to drop dramatically because your utilization will go up. So yeah, you definitely don't want to do that, or I would advise you not to.
Cool. All right, we got a bunch of names. So I'm going to start the wheel. Let me see if there's any questions that we missed on here. Okay, what's the best way to set up an LLC when it's one owner and make you choose a sole proprietor, or could we do sole proprietor as an S corp?
No, so you're when you set up an LLC, sole proprietor and an LLC is different. Sole proprietor is like when you just apply for your business like a straight EIN, just under your name. There's no separation. A limited liability company, you want to go to your Secretary of State of wherever you're from and set that up. It's okay for you to be a one owner company. It's called one member. Sole member. There you go. That's perfectly fine. You may want to add a member later, and then it'll be a multi member. But yeah, so after you set up the LLC, you can elect with the IRS to be taxed as an S corp. So yeah, LLC sole proprietor is different. And LLC, you can elect for an S corp once you've set up your LLC.
All right, cool. All right, what you got? What you got? I see you. What you got?
Put a little more.
See, that's how you got the banks talking to you when you pretty on paper. That's how they start talking to you. They
real quick.
Exactly.
So to Ty, because I didn't want to speak out of turn. I definitely wanted you to talk on that before I said anything, because I didn't want to step on your toes. Ty, I believe that was Ty that said that, or somebody. So within there's a few ways that you could purchase your LLC. So me personally, I don't like doing things, right? I like, putting my time somewhere else. So I might deal with a company like LegalZoom, right? They do charge for their labor for sure. But they'll get everything done for you, in regards to your LLC, all that stuff. Tell them that you can get your own EIN. I'll save you $60. They can get everything set up. They'll go ahead and look to make sure that the name that you want for your LLC is not taken. They'll make sure you either handle with your own registered agent, or they'll do one for you. They'll do all that. And you don't have to do it within the state that you're in. Well, depending on what kind of business you're owning, right? But you can get a digital or virtual office anywhere in the U.S. to either for the lowest cost for an LLC, because LLCs cost different in different states, right? And you have to make sure that you're paying attention to the tax benefits. So a lot of a lot of businesses will go through like Connecticut, Delaware, Wisconsin, Nevada, because the tax benefits for a business are crazy. And trust me, I know. So and I've had businesses in California, I've had businesses in Texas, so on and so forth. It's not illegal. As long as you have an address, a mailing address, you're good. You're good to go. So in regards to doing an LLC and trying to figure out all that, and making sure that your stuff is correct, if you know that you're not proficient in it, there's nothing wrong with paying a company that is like very much known to take care of that shit to do it for you. It might cost a little more, but it's less mess ups on the back end. Again, something I know because I've done it by myself before as well and messed up. Same thing with purchasing trademarks. I purchased trademarks and filed that by myself and had to deal with all the backlash and all the bullshit, all the emails and all the extra fund payments and stuff like that, and all the extra emails from people that you don't even know, and that you get scammed when you can go through the same company that you've purchased your LLC. Which I advocate for, just like she advocates for B of A. I advocate for LegalZoom when it comes to purchasing your business and all your business needs, because they take care of you and they give you all your files on your app that are ready to go for you. And I'm talking about from the rooted to the toted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, people may not know what a virtual office is. You can check out a website called Opius. So if you're new to business and you're trying to figure out what we're talking about, there's a company called Opius Virtual Offices. Navigate that website and look at all the different cities and states that they have. They charge you $99 a month, and they'll give you an address. They give you a phone number, and there's actually someone that will answer the phone for your business under your business name. And you can also receive mail there. So you can start there with that.
Can you tell them how to spell Opius?
OPUS.
Yeah.
If you Google
everyone that's watching, I took some notes for y'all. And Aneesa said she would send over that document. What was the document again?
It was a list of banks.
The list of banks. So we got the list of banks. We got.
And I believe that checklist. I believe it has what. Now I'm gonna check. But I believe it has on there. I believe it has on there what credit bureaus they check as well. So let me just double check that. But for sure, it has the states.
So we got a bunch of resources for y'all on the takeaway after this call. Everyone who is interested in the community, y'all should get that information. So now, because we're over an hour, on be respectful of Aneesa's time, because we can keep talking.
And she got the baby in her hand. You know, she yeah.
I put her to sleep.
She just finessing motherhood right now. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 11 names on the wheel. We got 7 opportunities for people to win. We'll give away 5 books first, and then the 2 consultations will be the last things that we'll give away. So I'm gonna just spin the wheel real quick. So what we got? First one is Jorge. George, my fault, George.
Jorge.
That's Jorge.
It'd be different. I don't know. Some people say Jorge.
Jorge.
Some people say George. Jorge.
If it was George, he would have spelled it with a G. Geor.
You're right.
Jorge.
You're right. All right, give me a second. I got an ad just popped up. You know how these ads be.
I didn't know Jorge was George though.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All right, he got the first book. All right, so let me get to the next spin. I just took him out, so he can't win twice.
Oh, Ari stay winning.
Ari stay winning. She win like every week. Every week she wins something.
Whitney said her name is not on the board.
I didn't see her name go up. She just threw her name up 3 times in a row.
Hold on, no, I think Whitney was on here, wasn't she? Hold on, let me see. I
didn't see it.
Wait.
No, I don't see it. Yeah, Whitney didn't put her name on here.
That's what I'm saying. Your name wasn't even on the board.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just because we know you on here, you got to put your name on the shits, Whit.
Your name wasn't even on there. I called for the names. I might add you, but your name wasn't on there.
Excuse me, I'm cussing and your daughter's right there. I'm so sorry.
She's sweet.
All right, here we go. We're going to run it. It's number 3. Nadine, get a book.
Nadine.
Everybody get a book.
Oh, Ty didn't put her. Look, Ty was like, "Can you add me, please?"
Yo, look, this is the last time, y'all. If y'all don't put the names on when I request them,
y'all gotta follow instructions.
Don't be getting jealous when people start winning stuff. Y'all
gotta follow instructions. That's what's wrong with y'all. Huh?
Follow instructions.
You heard us ask. You saw names popping up.
Whitney said, "I've been all up in here."
That's just because you've been in here don't mean listen.
You gotta follow directions.
You gotta follow directions. All right, we got 2 more books to go and 2 consultations. And first of all, we got to shout out Aneesa anyway, giving away so much stuff.
For real. Ren
gets a book. When does this book actually drop?
It drops on my birthday, January 26th.
Amazing.
At the end of the month, yeah.
All right, we got 1 more book real quick.
Ooh. Marcia.
Marcia. All right. Got them on there. Okay, let me take the name off. And also, guys, real quick, Aneesa she's coming on a pursuit. So we're gonna be shooting her live on a pursuit in the studio. So if you're interested in being in person during the live taping of that podcast, please let me know. January 9th is going down West Hollywood. So if you're in the LA area, you can actually pull up to the live taping of the podcast and maybe ask some additional questions to her in person on January 9th.
January 9th. She gonna have a baby right here.
That'd be amazing. Right here. Oh no, she's not.
You didn't take Mark out.
I didn't take Mark out. My fault.
Redo.
All right, here we go.
Whitney.
Hey, I thought it was Whit. Dang. Brenda.
He was close.
Hey, Whit probably like.
I know.
The last consultation is going to who we got.
Jose. All right.
Jose. All right, guys. Thanks for tapping in. Levi, you got any last things you want to say?
No, I don't have any. Like all the answers.
PMS him or what?
Huh?
PMS him?
Oh, do I have anything? Look, everything that you about to type into the shits is definitely coming into the PMSM. So all my money streams teams, y'all know it's gonna be in there. I know he's gonna send it to all y'all, but in case y'all lose it, and you want to find somewhere to get everything plus more, you tap in with the money streams team. All right, but what am I talking about the sponsors right now? What am I doing? What am I doing?
One thing I definitely want to just tease out there, for our Talk Money Tuesday community, Levi and I have kind of been in our bag a little bit over the holiday weekend. So for those that are interested, I will be sending out details shortly. We will be releasing the Talk Money Tuesday TMT Wealth Club. So if you're interested in more information on credit, on stocks, on NFTs, on the LLC situation, it's all going to be in one place. And you're going to be able to tap into it, not just the lives, but I'm talking about master classes and actually A to Z steps. So if you're interested in that, we're going to have 11 founding member spots. So that means you're not going to pay the full price. You're going to pay the founding member price. And we'll be giving more details on that shortly. So if you're interested in that, drop your name in the chat. Talk nice to me.
And my money streams team, my PMSM members, you get an extra special discount just for tapping in on the money streams and tapping in to Talk Money Tuesday, because we got to take care of the PMSM growth. So make sure that you pay attention, because that wealth club is about to be crazy. You see how we coming? We got pretty on paper out here dropping all the gems. So just imagine what's gonna come with these master classes. Just imagine what's going to come with these private talks. It's about to be heavy. It's about to be heavy. And if you go on the Talk Money Tuesday section and you click on it from our PMSM group members, you'll already see the private wealth club channel has already been created, sitting there waiting, because it's about to get crazy.
So that's something new for the new year. Levi and I are going to do some amazing things with that. Not even just the master classes that are virtual. There's going to be a lot of in-person activity as well. And we're going to be partnering with lovely people like Aneesa, and other people that have exceptional financial literacy knowledge to bring you guys opportunities that you may have to search for, but they're all going to be in one place. So Aneesa, wanted to thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you so much for having me.
To jump on TMT. We both, Levi and I, really, really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
We're down with the Pretty on Paper movement for sure.
Yes.
And if there's anything you wanna share, definitely let people know where to find you. I think that's extremely important. I'll drop that in the chat.
Yeah. You can find so we will be rolling out Pretty on Paper mentorship coming up soon. But you can find all of that in the book, prettyonpaper.org. And I guess for the people that didn't get a consultation, you can go ahead and book one. These will be actually after January 1st. We will no longer be taking one-on-one consultations. So,
Is it group consultations that you're doing?
Groups. It will be groups.
And you know what? This is the second time today that somebody said within, my presence of me listening that, I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore. I'm doing groups. You know what? I'm jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, because
come January, I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore.
Yeah, we need to build community. Really, people don't just need us; they need a community of people that are like-minded and on the same page. So, it really benefits people to do that. So,
I love that.
But yeah, you can find us on bloomcreditco.com if you want to book a consultation before the end of the year. And yeah, that's it. Prettyonpaper.org and bloomcreditco.com.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate you. It's been 2 months of Tuesdays, which has been amazing. This is episode 8, the last episode of the year. Obviously, we'll be back next year. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go the entire year, Tuesdays. And we appreciate you guys. So thanks a lot for tapping in every Tuesday for those that have. For those that just came on the last couple of Tuesdays, we appreciate you. Nadine asked for your Instagram, so I'm going to drop it here so she can follow you.
Perfect.
Let me do that real quick before I sign off. Levi, you want to take us on with the sponsors or what?
No, I got it. This was Talk Money Tuesdays. Man, it doesn't get any better than a Tuesday night with us on TMT, baby. So Shout out to our sponsors, Paper Loaf, IG, PAPER.LOAF, one of the best credit repair companies out there. Shout out to Pretty on Paper. You know what I'm saying? But if you got your 600s, you need it to the 700s, 700 to the 800s. If you lower than that and you need to bump up, you need those things that are on your history taken off. Paperloaf is the way to go. Website, www.paperloaf.com. And of course, the sponsor of all sponsors, the PMSM Group, Private Money Streams Mastermind Group, Instagram, PMSM.group, website, www.moneystreamsgroup.com. If you are somebody that's interested in controlling their 24 hours, making their money work for them, and finding that sense of success through your passion and path, you need to join the investment community of all investment communities. Not only will you be able to find investment options and opportunities of all kinds, but you'll also meet people that are looking for the same thing. So you never know what your circle will look like after you join. So make sure you get your membership with the Money Streams team. PMSM Group is the only lifestyle that you need to live.
All right, guys. Aneesa, we really, really appreciate you. And everyone watching. Thanks a lot. Make sure you follow the YouTube. Make sure you follow Aneesa. We'll be back next Tuesday with more gems and more people, more financial literacy and more information and more resources, more value, and just a lot more. All right. So we'll see y'all later. Peace. Yo, bro, that was